artist based in San Francisco, Calipas, and I do a lot of conceptual artwork with really shitty straight lines. I think a lot of my work just comes from life experience and knowing how connected everything is. So the way that the came to be was just one, life isn't perfect. It's just a really shitty straight line. If it's too straight, if it's too consistent, it's not, you're not maximizing it, you know, or you're not really experiencing it, the good and the bad. And with that, it was being born in Mexico, coming up here at an early age, being conscious of language and knowing how experience and how you observe a world shapes your identity, along with how you're raised and everything. But for me, just growing up as the youngest of seven, straight from Michoacan, coming up to straight to California. Pásale, pásale. Yeah, no worries. So coming up here, I noticed and I knew at an early age that my parents and me, we were all experiencing everything at the same time, you know. So I really kind of paid attention to that a lot and became super observant into a lot of things. So I would take what I learned and I would put it into music and I would put it into artwork. A lot of the art that I do, either visual or audio, is just culture based, you know. It's based on environment, and culture can mean just anything that I've either experienced American wise or Mexican wise or como lo que sea, but it's something that's just natural. And I think that goes back to the so that piece is inspired by the oranges that my dad has in our backyard. So when we moved up here, my dad just like he put a beautiful garden just for my mom in the very front of our house. Thankfully, we were able to get a crib, and then in the back, just like pumpkins, like corn, lo que sea, limones, naranjas, like everything, bro. And for me, I always wanted to communicate something without. I mean, I guess you could say I always wanted to communicate something in a one-to-one relationship where, like, if you know what the reference is, you can just see it by noticing the shape, by the color, and just the feeling of it. And then similar to just like a different kind of accent in a language, I did that orange tree kind of painting because it's not necessarily a one-to-one relationship. You know, you can kind of get a feeling of it, but you don't know it's derived from that. But yeah, it's just my family, bro. Like a lot of my family and upbringing is inspired. It inspires my work a lot. So those trees are ones that my dad made and like planted. And the cool part about it is for the last one, he wanted, he didn't directly say it, but he was just like, you know, this would look, se mira bien con un cuadro, estaría bien fácil para hacerlo. Like, just it would be easy. He didn't ask, so I was like, I knew what he was trying to get at. So I was like, yo, like, would you be able to make one? He said, no, pues claro, ahorita vamos para el Home Depot. You get like a whole thing. And it was beautiful because it was the first time I was able to work with my dad on a piece. And he's like a carpenter. He built our house in Mexico and everything, bro. So I get that inspiration of just doing it yourself, figuring it out from him. Y pues, como dice, bro, todo tiene solución. So I picked that up and like, I just find a way with working with what we got, you know? You work with what you got till you get what you want. Hell yeah. All right. So when my dad would come up here to work, like in the 70s, 80s, they would stay all together. I mean, back then it was like, you know, you come up here to work and then you go back to, you know, get money for your family, todo. So the more he would come up here, the more he would get cassettes y todo. And that's all you had, you know? You would share a space with like other fools working, but you shared the music, you shared cassettes. So like they would send one guy out to get music. Si salía un grupo que salía con un cassette, pues you just go, somebody would go and get it, and then, you know, you keep it, whatever. And it's funny because the cassettes, my dad still has them. Like growing up, he had a whole cassette wall. And on the Temerarios one specifically, if you look on my Instagram too, specifically, he has the cassette, but he writes his name on it, so no one steals it. You know, so like no one takes it or anything, so it has his name on there. And then for me, like I grew up very thankful for that because my dad, I mean, by the seventh kid, my dad kind of found his way around like how to raise them and everything. But so I'm super grateful for that, and especially in a new area. But I grew up with just romanticas, bro. Like my dad just played so many romanticas, like the grupos, like Brindis, like Bronco, like just a bunch of these bands, Los Greys. Like I remember I have memories of one specific song called Temporal de Amor by Los Greys. and that one is one song that my dad would always play when he would come back. Um, and it's nice, man. So it's that heritage and that's culture that I don't really see being highlighted. I mean, I think maybe now it might be, but there's things that are super personal to you that you connect to that maybe seem super normal or super regular. But if you pay attention to things that you notice that others don't, you realize how special they are. I feel like it's the same language but a different accent, you know? And with that realm of work that I do, it's working with what you got till you get what you want, or just working with what's already naturally there. Like that straw piece, for example, someone gave that to me because they found it on the beach, and it reminded them of me. So to be able to not necessarily create an object or create a tangible item for people to observe, but a way of thinking, is so crazy to me. Like I'm incredibly thankful for what people send me, what people show me, things that I would not have access to or have in my environment. But if they're seeing these lines, this shape, this shitty straight line in places, it just activates a certain feeling for them of just being observant. And that's so cool to me, man. Like it's truly so cool to be able to see people observe things or appreciate something that would be mundane or like not really important on a day-to-day basis. But I have people sending me photos of their curtain just lining up like that. You become more maybe appreciative. And I think I grew up with that a lot. Like I grew up being very appreciative of my environment, and also being a kid on the internet, I knew what I didn't have. So I grew up in a small town. So knowing that I had the internet, knowing people had access to a big city, I always dreamed of doing that. But I always remained super appreciative and grateful for my environment, to just expand on that. And then you find things that are meaningful to you, and you make something meaningful out of nothing, and that can be interpreted so many different ways. The day I die is going to be hilarious, because say they look through my phone or they look through my wallet, and you just find like a social security card that's just done in my or like you just see pictures of just a bunch of just shitty straight lines, man. And I found a few, and even talking to people about it is so cool, because I get their insight. You know, wherever you go, everybody's got a different perspective. It could be down the street, it could be in a whole other city like how it is now, but I found a shit ton. Yeah, I mean your shoes right now, bro. I'm telling you, the whole time I was talking, I was seeing on the bottom, right on the soles. You feel me? Nah, lift it up like this. Yeah. Yep. I know it. See, I'm gonna do that right now. Oh, you got my phone. Let me run that real quick. This will be perfect too. Let me get this one time. So I'm gonna do this. Yeah. So I'm talking about. I live a romantic life, bro. It's beautiful, the perspective that I have now, because it's just super romantic. Everything feels special. Same thing with Temerarios, bro. Now I feel like it stems from somewhere, from being all romantico to now, bro. It's a romantic life. Yeah, man. Yeah, there's romance in the beauty, there's romance in the pain, but it's all part of life. Uh, about my artwork, one thing that's super cool about my artwork is I plan to do this till I'm 80, bro. So I'm setting myself up to where by the time I'm 80 and I can't draw a straight line, it's still part of the work, bro. It's still part of the work. Yeah, but I'm praying for it, bro. I'm trying to be healthy. Oh, bro. All right. So there's a whole thing with the animation, like, and then I remember when it first released, the creator, like co-creator, tweeted saying, "Hey, just know, okay, here's what happened," like explaining what was going on, so people had some views on it. But pretty much, the first episode was super well done, and as the episodes go, the animation just got kind of like loose, or just kind of got like, it looked like some gifs that they just throw up in that bitch. But it was so funny, because I'm sure you can see the connection of everybody seeing the spiral everywhere, and everything. So I appreciated it so much. I want to read the manga straight up, because I feel like that would give me a better sense of. I haven't read it yet. No. Okay, have you read it, bro? Okay, sick. They put their best foot forward, because even I was researching and people were saying like there's been other versions of them doing the. Oh, you slide through, bro. Damn, the good guy. um, yeah, that there was somebody else that said, there's been so many renditions of trying to bring his work into anime, but whatever this one is, it's the best so far, you know, like how they did it. But anyway, that is such a good it's such a good story. The concept, obviously, I appreciate it so much because they incorporate it everywhere, 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 and like these little moments in the breath that would come out and the hair. So I related to it a whole lot. Yeah, I really want to read the manga. And I don't know if you see what I'm seeing. No, you can't. You got to stand like right here. You got to sit right where I'm at, bro. Mira. Post up right here. Ahí lo vas a ver. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. Hey, good shit. Échale ganas, bro. That's the only way you find. I don't know. That's the only way you find just cool new ways of doing shit is when you're unfamiliar, and then you find a way that to you is like you trying things, and to somebody else it's like, bro, that's so crazy that you saw it this way porque ni sabes. Pay attention to the things that you notice that other people don't, and you'll realize how special it is. Oh yeah.